Hello, friends. We continue with the essay Ideas That Have Helped Mankind, written by the Nobel laureate, the British philosopher, who was a writer, a logician, mathematician, historian, social critic, and political activist. So many inclinations and so many interests, all these have been suffused in this essay that tells to us that tell to us sorry that in fact every boon handed over to society since time immemorial is actually a result of the ideas. Even Emerson had said, the great American philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson had said that a scholar is not a parrot of someone else's learning. He is a man thinking. The two integral points, integral essentials that go into making something for a permanent value, for a permanent profit to the world is this thought, is the idea that people have. And in fact, we are indebted to all those who thought before us and in various fields. In our last lecture, in our previous lecture, we had studied the prehistoric ideas that helped mankind, and of which evolution of language, discovery of fire, art of writing, domestication of animals, agricultural inventions were mentioned. In fact, that man thought and that he translated. Whatever he thought, because he was able to communicate, he formulated a language. Because he was able to harness the power that lay hidden among the seen four elements, the hidden element of fire, which was too much beyond our reach, and on the sun, man was able to generate it on earth in the form of fire, and that is a gift which we do not know who actually has handed over to us, but that forever we will stand indebted to this element in our hands. However, much disuse has been made of this power. The next he said that was the art of writing, and then the domestication of animals, which made his work easy, and the agriculture. But today we will read the ideas related to morals, politics, and science that have helped mankind. So we begin first with science, because Russell, being basically a man from science, has so much to say. And first and foremost, he gives about the great scientist Galileo, who gave to us the telescope. And while he was working on his telescope and making an assessment of the stars, he gave to us the law of inertia. Now, inertia is the principle, is the force inside every element by virtue of which it remains either static if it is in the state of rest, or motile if it is in the state of motion, unless a force from outside is exercised on it. So, it was because of this law of inertia that we understand that a thing will continue to maintain its position, the inertia, whether of rest, whether of motion, unless an external force is given to it. So, this was the reason why several machines were invented. This was the driving thought, the idea that made people to invent machines. The second scientific idea to which he owes greatly are the three laws of motion given by Newton. Newton was a scientist who was later on considered a scientist only for the reason that when he sat in an orchard under an apple tree, an apple fell on him. And this made him realize, this made him have an idea that whatever is there on this earth is directed to move towards the earth. There is something, there is an attraction in this earth that causes everything to come back to it. Things may grow up, but when they fall, when at last they have their motion, when at last a force is exercised on them, they will all come down to earth. And this gave to us the understanding of the gravitational acceleration, and because of which people thought of overpowering this gravitation, and by which they ultimately decided upon moving into space. This gave them an idea that they will be able to fly or go up in the air only if they develop a force that can cut down, that can overpower, that can be stronger than the pull of the earth, which is the gravitation. And then he says, one great idea that has helped mankind is the Darwin's theory of evolution. Now, this was a great turning point because, according to the religious faiths, it was understood that all creatures, all life on earth was generated on one day. And also that man is superior to all. But when Mendel and other scientists ultimately gave their theories of evolution, Darwin's theory of evolution, finally, that man is not the creation of a day. He has evolved from the tiniest creature, that is, the unicellular creature, the protozoa. He said, he laid it down very scientifically. Charles Darwin laid down his theory of evolution that stated that we have evolved, that with time, the cells, the living cells, the animal cells underwent several changes, which changes we now call as evolution. Evolution means growing from. So we have evolved from. There is no reason for man to think himself a tyrant upon nature. In fact, nature has gladly and very magnanimously given him a place in its race. Now, these are the three very prominent scientific ideas that have helped mankind. They helped in a way to tell to man that if he wants to make things moving, he will have to exert a pressure, a force upon the thing that it moves, and if he wants to stop a moving thing, again he will have to have a force applied, and which is the law of inertia. Then he gives a tribute to the ideas of the laws of motion given by Newton, who said that there is a pull exercised by the earth towards its core. And this gave man the resultant ideas by which he can overcome this gravitational acceleration so that it moves. He can move up in the air. He must develop something so which thrusts him against the gravitational pull. And the Darwin's theory, of course, was a great landmark in deciding the evolution, and it made the scientists simple to see how our organs work, how we have ultimately evolved as great people. Now let us see what does he have to say about the science of mind, and which is psychology. Psychology is the science of behavior and mind. He said that science has proved that there is no concept of soul in human body, and it functions on the basis of simple principles. It is the stimulus, it is the outward force or environment given to someone why his behavior becomes that, why his mind becomes that. So there is much of an understanding, a scientific understanding in the study of behavior and mind, and which came to us in the form of psychology. So this also is a very scientific field which has emerged from the ideas people put in. Now, there were moral principles, though ideas denied that the idea of soul, but then there came certain moral principles. What were these moral principles? The moral principles were the idea of good and evil. Man might flourish, might have become scientifically very progressed, but that he should not forget. In him exists psychology, it was that gave to them the idea that man is a mixture of both good and evil. In order to stay good, he will have to work for the welfare of humanity. The fire that was put to disuse and abuse, this great 20th century writer gave the idea that if there is a force or a power in your hand, then we must not misuse it. So moral principles, these also came to us as ideas. If we read all the minds of the great writers, the classics, all the classics tell to us that we all are composite. We have our strengths, we have our weaknesses. And the more that you work on the strength, the better humanity would feel. And then come the political ideas. And we all know that the first thing which should be adopted in politics is democracy. What is democracy? Allowing equal scope to everyone. There could be one governing a lot, but this governance should be in accordance to the ideas given by the lot on whom one is exercising his political power. So democracy is not the rule of one. Whenever people ruled the world, they tended to become tyrannical. But democracy curtails the tyranny and allows for the scope for everyone to have their say in the functioning of the state. Then he gave the idea of freedom. He said that it was freedom that became very important an idea to keep the world stable. As we have increased in number and as our desires increased with the development in sciences, so the one who had the power of science and politics should not misuse this power against the multitudes that had lesser. So, freedom is very important. The idea of freedom is a boon. It is because of freedom that we all can, in our hearts, find ourselves as equals to others. And personal liberty. Because the idea of evolution gave to minds that everyone is different in a way or the other. Not any two people, even the twins, are not similar. They differ in their psychology, they differ in their bent of mind, and of course, we are all different in our physical structure. So, a personal liberty should be accorded to everyone if at all there is needed a help to mankind. Mankind will prosper only when this is guaranteed. So, Bertrand Russell has given to us, has documented all the ideas that have really gone in to make man happy that he is today. Make man learn from the wisdom of his forerunners. Whatever they did, whatever inventions and discoveries they made for the betterment of society, whether they be from the prehistoric times, whether they be from science, moral virtues, and political virtues, we all owe a great deal to those ideas which people had and which people passed on to the succeeding generations through the communicative devices, either by word of mouth or by the documentations that came to us with the development of language and printing. So, this essay actually celebrates the ideas. It celebrates the thought that if one has an idea, one should use it for the help of mankind. This is all for today. Thank you.